Throughout time, men have dominated the roles of writer and director in film. Because of this one-sidedness, the depiction of women has been decidedly biased. Two particular film tropes of female characters, the Femme Fatale and the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, offer noteworthy stereotypes of the ideal woman in the respective eras they depict. The Femme Fatale is intrinsically tied to the American films noir of the 1940s and 50s. She is seductive and morally ambiguous. Often the client of our protagonist, the private eye, she enters his life only to turn it upside down. The term Manic Pixie Dream Girl was coined in a 2007 review of Elizabethtown by Nathan Rabin for AV Club. Though the term has been used in a sort of revisionist film history way to describe Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's and the title character of Annie Hall, the contemporary iteration of this character resides in pseudo-indie coming-of-age films. She is cute and quirky and also makes a permanent impact on the life of the male protagonist. Both character tropes provide interesting commentary on the power, sexuality, and moral character of a fantasy woman. While both the Femme Fatale and the Manic Pixie Dream Girl exhibit a considerable amount of power, particularly in regards to the protagonist, it is utilized and limited in distinctively different ways. The power of the Femme Fatale is overt and physical. She is often either dangerous with weapons, as a criminal, or by the power of her sexuality. She entrances men with her body and her charm. Her power can also be psychological. Having gained the trust of the hero, she manipulates him into acting in the way that she chooses. Bridget, in The Maltese Falcon, uses her acting skills to convince Sam Spade that Thurnsby murdered Miles Archer, when it was, in fact, she who has committed the crime.
Unless you help me.
Who killed Thursby? Your enemies or his?
I don't know. His, I suppose. I'm afraid. I don't know.
Ah, this is hopeless.
In Gun Crazy, Laurie convinces her husband, Bart, to continue their crime spree and clear his guilty conscience because of her love.
Oh, nights. I wake up sometimes. It's as if none of it really happened. As if nothing were real anymore.
Next time you wake up, Bart, look over at me lying there beside you. I'm yours, and I'm real.
The Femme Fatale's power, however, is often limited by other male figures in her life, like bosses, fathers, or former lovers. In The Big Sleep, Carmen and Vivian's father hires a private detective that keeps an eye on the lives of the girls. And in Gun Crazy, Laurie's carny boss prevents other men from making advances toward her.
Lay your hands on me like that again, I'll kill you.
Like that guy you killed in St. Louis?
You're going to hold that over my head for the rest of my life, aren't you?
Yeah. 'Cause you're mine. Where do you think you're going tonight? All dressed up like that?
You don't own me, Packy.
I told him I did. I saw him coming over this way. I told him plenty.
The Manic Pixie Dream Girl also has a significant psychological impact on the story's protagonist, but her impact tends to be much more positive. She takes him out of his brooding and meaningless existence and shows him why life is worth living. Her quirks and fresh attitude help him move past his hang-ups.
See you to the bedroom.
In Elizabethtown, Claire encourages Drew to spend time reflecting on his relationship with his recently deceased father by taking a road trip and spreading his ashes. And in Garden State, Sam gets close enough with Large for him to open up to her and examine his psychological issues surrounding his broken family relationships and medication.
Why did they send you to boarding school?
They sent me to boarding school because they thought I might be dangerous. Oh, are you freaked out? You're like so freaked out. You're like running for the door. You can go. It's okay. Don't feel bad.
That's really funny. It's really funny. Why would they think you would be dangerous?
You're like a little detective. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're gay.
No. Drum roll. I was the reason she was in a wheelchair.
The Manic Pixie Dream Girl is often an independent working woman, unlimited by the binds of any authoritative figure. The true limits on her power often lie in an emotional stuntedness or immaturity. The Manic Pixie Dream Girl, in general, is more girlish and less womanly. Her sexuality, in the traditional sense, is downplayed in this way. Her style of dress ranges from cute to wacky, but is generally modest. This is not to say that sex is absent from these films, but it is underplayed and romantic rather than sensual and steamy. Overt sexuality, on the other hand, tends to be a staple characteristic of the femme fatale, especially when it comes to dress. This is perhaps best exhibited by Rita Hayworth playing the title character in Gilda, who uses the illusion of infidelity and loose sexuality to manipulate Johnny. The usage of their power and sexuality gives us a fair idea of the moral character of these two different archetypes.
I'm not very good at zippers. But maybe if I had some help.
I'll help you. I am an expert.
Even at her most amoral, the Manic Pixie Dream Girl always has some redeeming good qualities. Summer, who may come off to some viewers as cold-hearted for breaking up with Tom, was, at least, honest about her intentions.
So you have a boyfriend?
No,
Why not?
because I don't want one.
Come on, I don't believe that.
You don't believe that a woman could enjoy being free and independent?
The Dream Girl, in fact, often tends to be painfully honest.
I've dabbled in being a bitch. It's part of the reason I moved here. But I was really hoping to just leave it all behind me.
As for most of the Dream Girls who have brought their man out of a distressing period of his life, they tend to get a happily ever after.
What are you doing?
Look, do you remember that idea I had about working stuff out on my own and then finding it once I figured stuff out?
Ellipsis?
Yeah, ellipsis. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's an awful idea, and I'm not gonna do it, okay? Because like you said, this is it. This is life. And I'm in love with you, Samantha. I think that's the only thing I've ever been really sure of in my entire life. I'm really messed up right now, and I got a whole lot of stuff I gotta work out, but I don't want to waste any more of my life without you in it, okay?
Yeah.
And I think I can do this. I mean, I want to. I mean, we have to, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
The femme fatale, on the other hand, ranges from morally ambiguous to evil. Sometimes she is revealed to be ultimately good, and does get her happy ending, but only after she repents for her bad behavior.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing you can't fix.
Though Gilda has flirted with other men, we learn she has never cheated. She gets slapped around enough in the film to not receive punishment in the
I want
end.
to go with you, Gilda. Please take me. I know I did everything wrong.
Isn't it wonderful? Nobody has to apologize. Because we were both such stinkers, weren't we? Isn't it wonderful?
In most cases, however, the femme fatale's deeds are too evil to go unpunished. Such is the case of Laurie, whose endless, selfish robbery spree eventually comes to an end. Her crimes, including murder, are too great to go unpunished, and she is destroyed.
I'll kill you! Laurie, don't! I'll kill you! Laurie! Laurie!
Likewise is the case of Lily in Kiss Me Deadly, who is also no stranger to murder. Her deception and greed leads to a fiery demise. While the women in both of these genres do exhibit several powerful and independent qualities, they tend to experience little character development. They often act as little more than a catalyst or plot device to further the narrative and transformation of the male. In the noir, the femme fatale spurs the protagonist on his fatalistic journey, questioning his morality along the way. The Manic Pixie dream girl often serves to pull the leading man out of his depressed and meaningless rut. The character is used to introduce hope and brighten his outlook on life. Finally, I assess the roles of the women in these films by applying a simple feminist critique called the Bechdel test. If, in a film, there is a conversation between two women about something other than a man, it has passed the test. After applying the test to the 10 films that I researched, the total number that passed was 2.